Mind over muscle?
You don't even care where the other missile's headed, do you?
Brought this up because this is probably something that I should tell you all about. Okay, so first of all, J.R. Rubio was the informant in the Joey Merlino case. He was a liar. He was a horrible, awful liar. And here's what's interesting. When I was at that trial and he was testifying, he found out, I guess, through the feds who I was, and then began to threaten to kill me. And then he was saying things specifically about this case. He was saying, Patsy Falsetti, that's a lie. That's all nonsense. How can you believe that cable box story? So he's basically refuting what he just testified on trial on the stand a day before. Okay, so what do I do immediately? I go to Joey and say, Joey, I got this stuff. We got to get this to your defense attorneys. And that's what we did. And they really could have fought that. They really could have brought that up in the court system. And it would totally fuck Rubio and everything that he said. Not that Joey needed anybody to refute what Rubio said because he was a joke and a liar and whatever. Anyway, so Rubio, that gets over and done with. Rubio starts this Instagram account, starts threatening me, and I just start posting it back on my Instagram account because I think it's hilarious because it shows you what rats do. So here's what happened as a result. He ended up going on another Rats show, and he admits on that show that he lied about defendants in that case. Well, I just made it up. I could care less. Fuck them. Okay, so the minute that you say that in a public forum, guess what? Now you have reason for an appeal. And the judge overseeing that case found out about it and went fucking berserk because it pissed him off because they gave Rubio a deal of a lifetime, and here he is basically saying that he lied about people to get them convicted. And the judge can't have that. Judge Sullivan cannot have that. So I want to explain what happened next because this is very, very important. Okay. So I had been posting things on Instagram nonstop. Okay. The next thing that happens is I get an email from the Las Vegas Parole Division. They were the ones who were handling J.R. Rubio's case. She said to me, and I can post all of these emails because there's some asshole that's running around saying I'm a rat. How can you rat a rat? You can't rat a rat. And to rat on somebody, you got to go to court and testify against them, right? So what happened was she said that she came across my Instagram, the things I was posting, and that she needed to talk to me. And so I'm like, all right, whatever. So I called my attorney first. He says, yeah, you can. Then the second thing I did, which is the most important thing, is I called somebody in South Philly and I said, listen, these people are calling me. Is this okay? Yeah, go ahead. So I call the Las Vegas Parole, and she just explains to me, listen, here's the deal. I'm seeing some things that you're posting which directly correlate to some of the things that he was saying all in this podcast. So I said, okay. And she says, now listen, there's such a thing as a chain of command. Okay. So she said, you can send stuff to Judge Sullivan if you want, which I would have done anyway, because I knew that my friend Joey didn't do what this ass clown was saying he did. And I wanted to show the public that this guy was a lying sack of shit. So she says, the problem is you cannot submit a letter to a federal judge because there's a chain of command. It has to go through the parole division. And then the parole officer then approaches the judge and says, listen, I found this on Instagram. This is a problem. Right. Okay. So I didn't contact any fucking judge. I didn't call any fucking cop. I didn't do any of those things. So she just basically asked me to basically in email form. And I wasn't the only one who did this. She asked me an email form to just explain where the photos on my Instagram came from, the whereabouts, and basically the details. And she said I could address it to Judge Sullivan, and I could also address it to the parole division. And I said, okay. And she says, by the way, I need to let you know that what you type can go public. I said, I don't give a fuck. I got nothing to hide, and I'm not a rat. It's not a big deal. I'm doing the right thing. So that was handed to Judge Sullivan. I listened in on the call because if you're into journalism, you can actually call in and listen to sentencing. He was in trouble for going on another informant show. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the judge said, we have letters from this person who I'm not going to name. We have this. There was like 10 letters from people. Okay. Then it got to my name. And he said to Rubio's attorney, well, do you want to discuss this? And Rubio's attorney called me a gangster, said I was in the South Philadelphia mafia. I was a mob associate, just all of these crazy things that aren't true. And I wish I would have taped all of that because that was hilarious. But the judge says, listen, this was all during the trial. The lawyers had an opportunity to bring up these photos at trial. It's not a big deal. That's not what we're here for. So let's just move on to the sentencing for the things that he said on a podcast. Okay. So it had nothing to do with me. He got no trouble because of me. I did nothing wrong, and I would do it again tomorrow because Joey Merlino is a friend of mine. I would have done anything to help him. And that's just the reality of it. So there's some asshole that's running around showing this letter that I wrote to a judge saying, see, he's a rat. He's a rat. First of all, you're not testifying. Okay. Second of all, everything I submitted was pictures they already had anyway. Third of all, I called down to South Philadelphia and I said, listen, here's the deal. They may say something publicly. And he said, you're doing the right thing. But what you don't do and what you will not do is you will not testify to anything. I says, fuck no, I'm not going to testify to nothing. I'm not a rat. I'm not going to do that. He goes, we're good. And that's all that happened. But this guy who continues to stalk me keeps bringing this up like it's the fucking Holy Grail or some shit. It's just, it's just absolutely ridiculous on every level, the things that I deal with.